I mean, at this point, I honestly cannot even keep up with how the Blue Lock manga is paced. I just kinda nod my head, read, and go along with whatever the almighty Kaneshiro decides is best. What's going on, everyone? My name is Animasu, and today we'll be taking a look at the Blue Lock Chapter 317 officials titled I've Got This on Lock. As always, please take a moment to check that you've subscribed to the channel and turn on post notifications if you want to stay up to date with all things Blue Lock related. If you'd also like to interact with me or other members of the community, be sure to check out my Discord or just drop a comment down below. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Blue Lock Chapter 317 opens with the Japanese crowd screaming in excitement as the announcers light up the intercoms. With back-to-back bangers from Reo Mikage and Meguro Batsura, Japan sits on a comfortable 2-0 lead right now. Then the clock is shown, and apparently we're already 35 minutes into the first half. Somehow the game jumped forward in time without telling us, because from how quick and efficient those plays fell, I thought we were barely 9 to 10 minutes into the game. Regardless, the announcers hype up the situation, saying Nigeria has 10 minutes left to mount a counterattack, or Japan could further put a nail in their coffin before halftime. With the ball back in play, Onazi taps it right off of the kickoff, and immediately Isagi is sprinting up in their face. Kuso then receives it, and once again, takes on the role of narrator for this match. He admits it's clear to him now that Blue Lock Japan is easily the strongest opponent they've ever faced, which should not surprise anyone after the way they've been playing. Nigeria dominated the U20 region by winning 6-0 in the finals, but by watching this, it makes me wonder just how weak that competition really was. We then get an overhead chibi-style display of the field as Kuso explains what makes Japan so strong. He says it comes from the trio running the center line. That's Isagi Yoichi up top leading the offense, Oliver Aiku anchoring in the back, and Tabito Karasu holding it together in the midfield. He realizes that their ability to read the field calmly, use their intellect, and analyze Nigeria's tactics has been the biggest difference so far. From there, they can flip the game from defense to offense in an instant and control the pacing completely. The panels flash back to each of their standout plays, really hammering home just how dangerous this core has become. Kusa then adds that beyond this foundation, Japan has way too many other threats to worry about. Batsura and Chigure with their speed and creativity, Itoshirin with his destructive genius waiting to explode. I mean, just look at him side-eyeing. Reo and Hiyori is a skilled imitator and reliable passer, and even Nico and Ryu on defense, who have both already shown their growth in this match. As Karasu presses him, Kuso kicks out a pass and says the one holding the circus together is undeniably Isagi Yoichi. I love how he calls Yoichi the ringleader here, because back in the NEL, Kaiser straight up said that was his job and labeled Isagi as nothing more than another clown in his circus. The roles have completely flipped now though, and I loved seeing this reference be made to show how things could come full circle. As Kuso's pass flies through the air towards Onazi, he admits Isagi's real danger isn't just his skill, but his brain and adaptability. If Nigeria doesn't figure out how to deal with that, they are absolutely cooked and cannot come back in this match. Onazi leaps up and controls the pass mid-air as Chigure and Batsura immediately close in. This transitions us into a flashback of Team Nigeria's childhood right after Onazi's emotional first game. Bello pats him on the head and asks if he's ever played the sport before, but Onazi admits it's literally his first time, which of course stuns the group. Kuso just flat out calls him a prodigy on the spot, and I mean, just imagine being so good at your first pickup game that your friends immediately decide that you're the chosen one, I guess. The flashback cuts between past and present as Onazi makes a pass over to Bello and the play continues on. Back then, the kids asked if they could actually go pro with Onazi carrying them, and even dreamt about winning the World Cup together to change their life. Bello receives the pass in the present while the echoes of their younger selves talk about what the future could look like. Kuso continues the memory, saying that with money, everything would be better. They could buy delicious food, travel the world, live in big houses, and even get girls. Now that last one had me crying on my first read through because they really went from World Cup glory to bro, imagine the baddies within less than 5 seconds, and I mean, hey, game is game, I guess. Onazi though, being the voice of reason, tells them that becoming pro isn't easy and not to get carried away, but the group brushed it off saying it doesn't matter because they had their genius Onazi with them. Kuso reflects on how much Onazi means to them, saying that Onazi makes him feel like he can dream, that he's their shining hope, someone chosen by fate. This of course is when Onazi first declares his iconic line, "I'm here." The only time I've ever seen Glaze compared to this is the Jujutsu Kaisen manga with Gege and Sukuna. It is incomparable. Newspaper clippings then flash across the panel, praising Nigeria and hyping up Onazi after a 6-0 win. One of the headlines even says something about a new generation, which could refer to the new Gen 11 we know, or just Nigeria's new generation of players specifically. I know for a fact though, this man is no Michael Kaiser or Itoshi Sai. This still makes me wonder though if the local media was overhyping him too early, or if he really is a ticking time bomb of potential waiting to fully awaken, just like Nagi. A flashback then is shown of the 4 main players of Nigeria celebrating the U20 Africa Cup win, screaming in joy and victory. Onazi's line, "I'm here," keeps repeating across the pages over and over, showing how much this role of being the team's beacon of hope stuck with him. Back in the present, the ref signals that there is 1 minute of additional time before halftime. Kuso winds up for a pass and notes that Onazi's real weapon is his overwhelming stamina and drive, his momentum. Thanks to his incredible heart and lungs, he can push forward when everyone else is slowing down, and that could be the key to flipping this match. On top of all that though, Onazi's natural jumping ability and flexibility is what truly makes him a serious threat. We've already seen his leaps and acrobatic plays multiple times in this match, and Kuso points it out again as he sends off a pass into the box, slipping it right past Karasu and Ryu. He explains that the biggest reason Onazi is their striker is because his unique aerial game gives him even more options than most players could ever dream of. That becomes even clearer when he says Onazi's ability to jump so high essentially doubles his shooting range. We see this firsthand as the crosshair locks onto the ball. Onazi launches himself into the sky for a huge volley right above Isagi and Aiku, and while in midair, he stares Isagi down, declaring that he will surpass him right here and now. Meanwhile, in the net, Gagamaru tightens his focus, punching his gloves together while staring forward and telling Onazi to bring it on. With that, the manga then shifts us into yet another flashback within this chapter, this time with Gagamaru's training. The specialized note Igo gave him said that he was still leaning too heavily into his natural instincts in the goal. With catcher's mitts and a pile of baseballs, Igo told him he needed to craft a true goalkeeper's body. To achieve this, Igo designed what he calls special batting practice. Keep in mind, there's not a bat in sight. They got bro in the box with no protection. Pause. On the Wakayama High School field, a pitching machine fires baseballs at random spots in the net while Gagamaru dives around trying to stop them. And yes, he's actually dual-wielding catcher's mitts like it's Elden Ring. All he's missing is a health bar and a flute soundtrack. The routine starts to improve quickly though, since baseballs are way smaller and faster than soccer balls. Practicing with them forces Gagamaru's body to sharpen its reflexes at insane speeds. He even says he feels like his eyes and reactions have already leveled up, moving about 1.5 times faster than before. On top of that, Igo has him throwing the balls back at a target, honing his distribution and throw-ins. In one panel, the machine fires off another top left pitch, and Gagamaru dives cleanly through the air, snagging it with ease as he lets his body learn the motions instead of overthinking in his head. And the payoff from this training comes immediately in the present. Onazi rips into his shot, being an awesome mid-air strike right above Isagi's head, and his teammates scream out for him to be their shining hope. It's a gorgeous double spread with Nigeria's perspective on the right and Gagamaru's locked-in focus on the left. He notes the ball's tilt and trajectory, but says his body is already moving before his brain can catch up. Compared to the speed of a baseball, this shot looks slow, and with his pupils dilating as he locks onto it, Gagamaru even calls the shot attempt puny. Something like this could never slip past our GOAT, and he sure as hell proves it. Diving through the air for a picture-perfect top left save, just like in the baseball training, Gagamaru denies Onazi's shot. Isagi smirks, grateful for his teammate's clutch stop, while Gagamaru proudly declares himself Japan's guardian deity. Onazi meanwhile looks shaken as he watches what should have been a guaranteed goal get shut down in front of his eyes. The whistle blows in the corner of this panel too, signaling the end of that 1 minute of additional time Nigeria had. With that, the first half comes to a close. Japan heads into halftime with a commanding 2-0 lead, and the crowd erupts in celebration after Gagamaru's massive save. Hyping them up even further, he points to the stands and shouts out that he's got things on lock in the net. The final page lingers on Kuso, frozen in disbelief. No matter what Nigeria throws at Japan, this team always has someone ready to counter, and the gap feels wider than ever. With that, Blue Lock Chapter 317 officially comes to a close. Gagamaru's huge save on Onazi was easily the highlight, and it puts a lot of weight on how Nigeria could possibly evolve going into the second half. The shot attempt itself and Kuso's pass were actually ideal as he aimed perfectly for the top net, but sadly, Japan's new guardian deity learned from Randy Moss himself. Next week, we'll be getting into chapter 318, releasing on September 16th, and the title is I Want to Win. That sounds like we'll finally get a look at Nigeria's locker room mentality and how they plan to adjust moving forward, but until then, drop your thoughts and theories down below, and I hope you all have a great day. Also, come on, I know you want to subscribe, just do it.